check it out. Look at this body. Is this body lying to you, lying to people that you talk to, lying about what you want to express and what your needs and wants are? I was curious to hear a little bit more about that. Is your body lying? The Unapologetic Show. Welcome, Joanne.
Thank you so much, Jessica. It's so brilliant to be here.
I loved your enthusiasm about sharing about this topic, and in your 25 years of working with professional athletes and non-professional athletes, I'd love to hear how our body lies and the habits that we have to break to consciously, well, even unconsciously, if there's a habit that unconsciously changes how we stand and talk and breathe and come in this world.
Go brilliant. Well, I am super excited about this because, as you said, I've spent a lot of time working with all sorts of performers, but I also work a lot with women. And so when you kind of reached out to talk about unapologetic, I'm like, oh my goodness, I have a lot to say about this one, because this is something we see all the time. Because we spend a lot of time learning the stuff to say. And we really believe that that is what is going out there. And it's so not. And, I loved what you called this session, is your body lying? Because actually, I wanted to leave it sit there, because what's interesting is that your body is actually the only honest thing in the room right now.
Oh, wow. So we're lying. Our words are lying.
We're kidding ourselves. So if I give you an example, and maybe people can kind of relate, like when I'm coaching women, it's not unusual, and I see it when I watch people. Women are trying to express something. Let's say they want to set a boundary about something. This is not okay. And the words are coming out, and the body is saying something completely different. So it could be like, this is not okay, but I'm going to soften it because I really want you to like me, and I don't want you to feel bad about this. And so, the words are coming out, but the body is saying something totally different. And guess what? The research shows that people are watching your body. It's not the words coming out of your mouth. They're actually watching the body. And let's let that land with you for a minute.
A question so they're not consciously watching the body, though, are they? Or the men going like, oh, her body says no, but her mouth says yes.
No. What they're getting is a funny little feeling of something that's not congruent. Something's not adding up. So they're getting a feeling, but they don't necessarily know what the feeling is.
Okay.
So now everybody in the room's confused. Yeah. And it's really good research about this.
Because we're used to doing it?
Well, we're socialized, aren't we?
Yeah.
To be certain ways. And I think it's super interesting, again, watching women, because it's not just that they go this way to say, oh, I want to set a boundary, is that okay? But then they go the other way and go into defiance. And defiance is not the same thing as being in your authority. And so we get caught in this kind of binary choice. Am I either going to be like soft with this and try and like make it, or am I going to be really defiant because I feel like I need to own my space?
Okay.
And we often think, but doesn't that feel strong? And I'm like, oh, bless. Yeah, this is a conversation I've had with many performers. Like, tension is not the same thing as strength.
Okay. Tell me more.
The feeling of muscle tension, like, and you think about it, like, if you, Jessica, put yourself in a situation, think, right, like someone or some situation where you think, it's going to be a bit, where do you put your body?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, do you go up or down in your body?
Up.
And do you go forward or backwards?
Forward, like fighting energy forward?
Fighting energy. Yeah. So let's just take those two domains, shall we? And I see a lot of women, and I'm going to stand up because it's a whole body thing, What we see is this kind of up and back thing. So they get short in the back and braced. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Does that seem familiar to you?
I'd never thought of it. So
yeah, well, this is the interesting thing. This goes to your question about what do we do? And the first step is becoming aware of what your individual embodiments are. So, for example, my embodiment's going to be different to yours.
Oh.
I was brought up with a military father. Stand up straight, shoulders back.
Wow.
You know, I go, I let my sternum here goes up. I get short and tight in the back.
Yeah.
And boom, I'm there. That's my embodiment.
Yeah.
But it might not be your embodiment.
Yeah.
So some people clench their butts and they get under here. That's how they feel strong. It's a different kind of tension.
Okay.
Yeah. But then mixing that up with the sense of being, I am in my authority here. Yeah. So I could be, let's take the boundary thing. It's not okay. I'm going to soften that right off there. Yeah. I could be, that's not okay. And now I'm in defiant or resistant. But this place in the middle here, that's not okay. All of a sudden my voice drops, you get that. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm here. And the funny thing is I had this sudden kind of desire to do martial arts at this point. I'm like, kaboom. That's how it feels.
But can you turn so I can see what it's not okay looks like?
Yeah. So what we've got here is the difference between being either here, here, or here. Now here, this is like I've got a Star Wars lightsaber coming up from between my feet through my pelvic floor, and we're women, so we know where that is. And we can come up all the way through the center of the body, all the way through the center. That's where I am. So my little tailbone here is not pointing up to the ceiling. I'm going to imagine that I've got water running down my back and just dripping off, and it's landing between my heels. That's where I am here. So yeah, this is my powerful place. This is not powerful, but it feels like it because we have muscle tension. And we feel strong. Not strong. There's nothing about that communicates to somebody else. I'm getting pushed around here.
But is this a woman posture compared to a man posture?
Well, you know, like again, there are patterns we see, but I also see a lot of the athletic men, they kind of the so-called athlete posture. You see a lot of that up and back. And, you know, in my sports work, you know, I'm looking at them and these guys end up with shoulder problems and all sorts because their shoulders are wedged back here. And it's, yeah.
It's chest, no? It's like puffing up the chest.
It is. It kind of is like, yeah, I'm taking up my space here.
But if you were to, I'm thinking about instinct. So if I want to fight you and I need to stand my ground, I need to tense and I need to get ready to punch or to run. So you're suggesting let go of that tension. We're not going to punch and we're not going to run. Stand firm and grounded. And so you're trying to teach our bodies to not fight. Is that where you're going with that?
Yeah, because that you really nailed it there, Jessica, because so many people, whether they're men or women, think that there is only being the victim in this or having to be in fight energy.
Okay.
And we don't want to be there, you know, showing up in our lives, in our business meetings, in our families, in our relationships with those two choices.
Okay.
That's no good. So what I'm saying is that this whole place in the middle, which is your place, where you are just taking up the space that is rightfully yours, but it's not in your face. Always feeling like you have to fight for it.
So when I train public speaking and for women to like take up space energetically, we talk about the similar posture. So it's like, it's a grounded shoulder width energy. And little people, I'm not little at all, you can't see on the screen, but I don't have this problem, but the high heels, the shoulder pads, if
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
put my shoulders out, I don't take up space. Is your advice the same for tall German women like me as it is for tiny, short, little skinny ladies?
It's exactly the same, because what you're doing is you're expanding into the fullness of whatever your dimensions are. And, where you like, it's so interesting, like having people come and they're like, oh, there's neck pain. And they're quite small. And they've somehow been taught that to be tall, they've got to be like this. And of course, they've got neck pain, bless them. And, and it's so interesting when they kind of go back through, like, oh my gosh, yeah, my mum said I'm never going to be tall, but I have to always seem tall. And that's what I'm doing. But what they're doing, they're going backwards. It's not up, it's backwards.
Okay, so it's like pelvis from Pilates, it's like a pelvis tilt forward so that your back is straight and you don't want any of this arch going on. But to not arch, you need to put shoulders down, chin down, and like, can I try it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm like fight a little bit like that.
Yeah.
Now I'm relaxing, and now my abs, nothing's tense on my body, but I have to unarch my back, so I have to do a little bit of a pelvic tilt to stand not arched. Or is the pelvic tilt not a part of it?
You head in the right direction. What I tend to teach is not to fight tension with tension. Then you just get more tension. You just swap it.
Okay.
Yeah. So if that is the way that you or somebody else embodies, which is to shorten up their backline, what I'm going to ask them for is to actually run a bit of water down that backline, drip it off the sacrum, drip it off the pelvis, so that you release that. Because what's interesting is if you release the tightness in the back, the really deep abdominals underneath, the ones that just hum along, they're not tense, they get to activate. Because interestingly, your brain is an energy conserving thing, and it's going, if you're managing to stabilize your spine on your pelvis with all that stuff in the back, I don't need to do anything at the front. Why would I do that? Not efficient. So if I start to let go of something down through the back, then you start to change your balance point. Then you can start to find where ground is, rather than trying to do funky things with your pelvis. Because no one's got enough brain space, like in the moment, to think, well, where's my pelvis and where's my shoulders and where's my everything? Yeah. So the best way, I don't know what your situation is there, but actually standing up and doing this together is probably the best way to experience it. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, then. So there's whatever you is, and we all have our own whatever that is. And then just have a little experiment for a minute. So is there anything, Jessica, you're out there, you're doing it. Is there anything that makes you feel under pressure or combative, or you're feeling like you're being pushed into having to be forced to be unapologetic?
Yes, sure. Other women.
Other women? Funnily enough, yeah, actually the worst kind of harassment in the workplace I've had has actually been coming from that direction, which is super interesting. So that's coming at you. Where do you put yourself? So just think about that situation for a minute. What happens in your body? Where do you go? Okay. You kind of that way?
Like, how can you not? How? Like, oh.
Right. Okay. So that's super interesting. So first, number one is being aware of that's where you go. And you're thinking, okay, is that saying to the other party what I want it to say? Yeah. Now, then what are our options? Well, often we'll try to go up and back, won't we? And think, oh, this is good posture. But have a little feel for a minute. If you do the stand up straight, shoulders back, we're often, taught to do this kind of thing, and you've got a lovely posture going on there. Now, let's just push it that little bit. So my thing is that I tip my rib cage up at the front and down back. And there's a lot of people who do that. And when they do that, it then shortens your lower back as well. Yeah. Now, that's interesting. Can you feel Where are you actually doing the adjustment from?
Here.
Uh-huh. Is it there?
I don't know.
Or is it somewhere else in your body that's moving?
Obviously not there, but.
Well, just have a little scan down. When you did that going from one thing to the other, what else was really moving?
I don't feel anything moving from here down, so I don't.
Okay. So the first time you did it, what you did was you kept this part the same, but went there. So the hips were, this stayed the same. So we're still, and then we're here to be more emphatic about it. Okay. So let's do something else. Let's come back here, and you're going to find your way into your feet, which you'll be teaching people to do. Get a little sense of where you are. Are you in the front, the back, the insides, the outsides? Just have a little check and just see whether you're squeezing your butt or not. And if you are, just let that go for a minute and work out where you go if you let that go. And you're going to think about that little lightsaber going all the way up through, or just like an energetic tube coming all the way up through the center of your body, right in the center, so that things can be either side of it, not in tension. They're not switched off, but they're not in tension either. Now from here, the question is, if you choose to, can you step forward for emphasis? Can you, take your gestures? Where are you going to be from there?
Okay.
What are you finding out?
Very calming.
Calming. Sorry, it's just breaking up a bit.
Oh, I said it's very calming to speak from that calm, non-tense body. And I've probably never ever spoken from that when I'm tensed.
Wow.
So now I'm curious how that shifts how my voice even sounds, right? Instead of like, why are you doing the dishes now? Right?
Yeah.
Like, instead of be like, why did you choose? I don't even think I could say it with that energy. It would be like to my husband, like, why did you choose to do the dishes at 6:30 in the morning? Is there something in your schedule that wants to wake me up? Right?
Yeah.
Like why? Because I have to flex my abs, my belly to do that. And then my butt also flexes when I express that explosive anger or energy that comes forward, right? It's like, why? Like attacking with a beak, right?
Yeah.
And of course, nobody likes to be attacked with a beak.
You just cut out there again for me, Jessica. So I'm just going to pick it up. There you are. Got you again. That's super interesting. And
breaking up.
What's the difference in where your voice is coming from between those two states?
Yeah, one is forced out and one is very fluid. So that's how we teach when you speak publicly. You're just flowing and you're expressing. You would never tighten your belly and tighten your butt and speak like that from the stage. You would always breathe and relax and be grounded. So why in tension? Why in stress? Well, I know the answer, but wow, what a difference.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Super. Well, you're so welcome. It's one of the quickest ways that we can start to change things up for how we're relating to other people, how they're relating to us. And to understand that difference between tension and conflating that with strength to authority and conviction, and where they sit in the body.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Game changer. Thank you.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share it, because it's something I'm really, you can probably tell, quite passionate about.
Yes,
I love doing this.
The fights that it can save, right? The amount of confidence that it can give women. This is extremely important. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now. Thank you. Yeah. Well, what would your title be? Because I didn't understand the concept very well, and I thought our body lies. Our body never lies. It's us. So untense your untense to resolve problems? Like what one sentence of advice would you give women with their bodies to be taken authoritatively?
Yeah. Well, you know, the quick way in is if you thought of somebody who modeled, you know, authority, but not that kind of authority, but that one that is coming from somewhere so centered that they are immovable. And you think about who might that be. You think of anybody?
You know, I've been to Africa quite a bit, and I've always admired African women because there's this just like, they're not like they're going to fight you. They're just like, I had 12 kids and I raised them up to go to school, and like this feminine strength that she knows who she is and she knows how she can survive, and it's not about punching you. It's about like a deeper wisdom and strength that a lot of us white girls don't have because we don't have that heritage or confidence or anyway. But just imagining her standing there being like, you don't touch my kid, whereas white girls would be like, Karen be like, don't come touch my kids, I'll call the police on you, right? Like we don't ground, we go up and frantic because we're not grounded very well in our cultures, in our women heritage of wise women, that we miss that, I think.
Absolutely. That whole kind of, shamanic lower cauldron.
Yeah.
That's so incredibly important. It's where our embers are, our fire, but also this deep, I always think about, when you go through the earth's mantle and you go down, you go into that deep resource of fire, which is not the blazing, like tear it all down. It's that sustaining warmth that is so solid. And if you just find that model that you've just described so beautifully and go, okay, where would that put me in my body? How would I shape myself? What would I do with my body if I took that inspiration?
Okay. Totally love that. And now I'm thinking about how women are abused, and this energy of like frantic woman screaming and scratching. Like I've been watching a lot of Instagram late at night, and there's a lot of horror stories about rape, right?
Okay.
And so when someone is attacking you, I know this isn't exactly the content that I work on, but I think we've learned that because we act like an animal who's being attacked, right? Yeah. So is that actually useful for defending yourself? That when you have to defend, you need to be tense so that you're just talking about like when you need to be authoritative when your life is not in danger.
Yeah, when you're in danger, you need to kick and scream and punch. And my gosh, I was really lucky as my military father. He taught me how to fight when I was a small child. And I needed to know how to fight because I was a new kid over and over again as we moved. And you are going to be the target. And he taught me how to take care of business. But he taught me how to do it, to put down the threat, but not to carry it. So it's just like, when you need to do it, you got to do it. But that's understanding our autonomic nervous system going, we are all about survival.
Yeah.
And when you need to fight and flee, you want to know you can get there. And that also for some women is, very tricky. And it's a whole huge subject that we haven't got time for here. But what tends to happen then, and because, of course, women historically have so much that they have had to fight for. There is no doubting that. But it's now understanding that when you walk into the room, you need to feel like you own your space, not that you're just trying to fight for a place. Difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the energy that I'm kind of interested in, that we have more than one solution to be able to take our place.
It kind of your last sentence, but I feel like it was a good one.
Oh, rats. Well, what I was saying
last sentence, if you can just repeat.
Yeah, we need more than one solution to be able to take our place. Yeah, and sometimes we do have to, but we need to understand when we are having to do that And when we actually want to own our voice,
Mm.
be able to share our ideas without having to go, oh, well, no, I've got an idea, you know, or I've got an idea versus I've got an idea.
Ooh. Huge difference.
Yeah. It's the dynamics for us, having dynamics, being able to slide up and down and know what we're in. Because sometimes we go into a situation, we feel threatened, and so we go up into fight mode or flight mode. When what we need to go is, okay, I have this feeling. I'm going to really go into my authority now. Yeah.
Authority. It's interesting. The word authoritarian, nobody likes, but the word authority, right? Like my authority. What an interesting sentence. We usually don't associate that word with us. It's like we either follow the laws and the powerful people, and what if we are the powerful people in our space? You know?
Yeah, it's interesting language, isn't it? That, you know, as you say, authoritarian, a lot of baggage with that, but to have your personal authority, your sense of authority, you show up, you have your conviction. Because often women are confusing the need for courage with the need for conviction. Sometimes we need courage. But, where does that land with you?
Woo, I could talk to you for a long time. I appreciate this. This is very nice, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for your summer day, your summer afternoon when you could be at the beautiful beaches in the UK.
Well, they do have some, but it is the middle of a work day. So, you know, I've kind of hurtled in here from some coaching and we'll hurtle back out of it to some more coaching. But you know what? It's such a privilege to be invited. Jessica, I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. It's a joy. And to have your insights coming back to me is so valuable. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for teaching us how to be more unapologetic. And the body, my goodness, that's more than half of it. That's I don't know what number it is, but that's a lot. So that can change a lot of women's lives. Thank you, Joanne.
I hope so. You're welcome. Thanks so much, Jessica.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.